Don't don't let that get in the way. And let me just say this. I feel the need to mention this. You know, I have this belief that from a spiritual perspective, when two people are supposed to be together, a lot of times they have a very hard time getting together because the devil, the enemy, whatever you want to call it, is going to interfere in a union that can bring about something better. When people don't belong together, he'll step aside and say, do y'all damn thing. Because he knows trouble is ahead. He knows it's going to end in misery anyway and throw y'all off track. So it's not shocking that her finding this, connection with this man, everything working out, that now this unfortunate scenario is thrown at her. But I don't think she should let that deter her. I think if she's spiritual, I don't know, what her beliefs are, but if she's spiritual, time to pray. This is the time to talk to God about, all right, how does he want her to move in this situation? You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
Just asking this guy, okay, what is his thoughts as far as how does he want to go about this? What is he thinking? Because I do also want to encourage her that if she's going to be with this man, don't be that woman that discourages him taking care of his child. Like,
no, absolutely.
Let the man be a father and do what he needs to do, but set proper boundaries so that he can have a healthy co-parenting relationship, but a healthy relationship with her as well.
And I will also say this. I think that if she just found out she was pregnant, that means that y'all might be seeing each other for 1 to 3 months. Just going off of me being I have a baby. Okay. I'm saying to myself, 1 to 3 months, y'all in love, y'all finishing each other's sentences. It's all wonderful, fine and dandy. It's really early, and I'm in comfortable situations. You escalate. I mean, you're familiar with somebody, you dated them before, you get into a situation, and now you're all hitting the gas pedal at this point, and everything feels like it's so great and so awesome. But take your time. If there's anything you can learn from anything that I've done, take your time, because I feel like sometimes we can get lost in feeling comfortable with somebody that we're not actually seeing who they are today or some of the things that you notice. So really take that time to pray and get into your word, because, man, if you get infatuated like that, that means y'all might be doing other things besides praying. Okay, so I'm just saying.
She did say, though, that they dated 7 years ago. So it depends on how long. So they already have, like, it's technically 3 months plus whatever history they have from before.
You know what I'm saying?
So
they're trying to say stuff.
I'm saying there's a higher level of familiarity in that compared to two random people who met for 3 months. But your point is still 100% accurate. Take your time. This is the time to pray. And listen, I think in most situations, if a woman takes a step back, allows herself to just go within herself, her intuition will tell her what's up. A lot of times, it's not that women don't know, it's that they ignore their intuition, that they hold on to what they see and ignore what they're feeling and sensing. They're just not embracing the blessing they have within them to see past the BS, to see past the facades that's presented to them. So if she just, as you said, takes a step back, pray, trust that intuition, she'll be fine. She can't get caught up in the craziness of the situation on the surface. Right.
Because I would also say, listen, don't rush into be somebody's stepmom. That's just what I'm saying. Look, I know you laughing, but I'm don't rush into that. That is not an easy role. You coming in early and he's hit with that text message. I also feel like it's important to see people through stressful situations. I don't feel like you really know somebody until you go through something stressful with them and see how they handle the situation. And so there may be a lot you can learn from it, but I'm just saying, take your time. Make sure that you are clear about how you're moving forward, because this does sound a lot like infatuation, and anybody can feel like your husband in 3 months. I'm just saying.
Now, I'm going to dispute that real quick.
What? Okay, go ahead, hit me.
Let me tell you. All right. Because I'm a firm believer that love doesn't take time.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so at all. I think that when you sit down and you talk to people who have experienced a genuine connection, they all talk about how instantaneous it was. Even if they didn't understand completely what was going on, first conversation, first couple of days, they knew something was there that was not there with anyone else. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that for many people, when they need more time, they're just trying to get comfortable with the situation, or they're even trying to grow to love someone, which is actually the wrong way to go about it. So in reality, it can happen that fast. I think, again, this goes back to, you got to see the difference between, as you mentioned, infatuation and connection.
Right.
Infatuation is very surface driven. All right. It's, oh my God. Like, so for example, woman meets a man. Let's just say this scenario, man's a 6-figure earner. He does well, good looking, no kids. Like, his resume is on point. So she's running home. Oh my gosh, I met this great man. We had a great conversation. Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
And that relationship stays on the surface, and that's what she's locked in on. She's locking in on the fantasy of it all, what she dreams of this becoming. But ignoring the fact that y'all never really got deep into each other to know, who have you shown yourself at your core? Because if you haven't been yourself, don't expect to have seen himself. Don't expect his true self if you're holding back. All right. So
I agree with that.
Is that two people who have a connection can be themselves, are very open. They go deeper within each other. This can occur very quickly. You know what I'm saying? And it can be genuine. So I do think that I'm not concerned about the 3 months.
You're not.
I want her to make sure this is that connection versus she's just happy to have a man right now. Everything seems good, and now she's getting thrown off by this baby situation.
I mean, well, thrown off is that's not a bad thing to be thrown off about. That's where I'm at. Listen, I won't be mad at you if you say, listen, I'm not ready to be somebody's, to jump into the situation. I'm actually the opposite believer. I think that love takes time. I think that you can feel like you love somebody for a while. You can feel like that for 3 to 6 months, but I think love is a choice. I choose to love you even when I don't feel like it. There's going to be times in marital situations where you don't necessarily feel those butterflies and love feelings, but I'm choosing to love you anyway. I'm choosing to stay loyal to you and be your companion in good, bad, ugly, those kind of things whenever I find that, but I'm just saying, that's what I think. I think love takes time.
So my thing is this, to me, we don't choose to love. We choose to express love. All right. Okay. Love exists within itself. Love is spirit. Love is God. Love is energy. It's already there. All right. Okay. It's within us. And then we choose who we give it to. Now, being in love to me, or having a connection, is when what I believe is our spirit recognizing our match. Because, they say things happen in the spiritual before they happen in the physical.
Yes.
The already knew what was up. And so put it like this. When I say love doesn't take time, if we believe God is love,
yes,
God needs 3 months to tell you who's for you? You think God? No, God knows from the jump who's for you and who's not. So the reality is that this person being for you and that connection being there, it's either there or it's not. It can't be created. It doesn't come about over time. It's either there or it's not. What takes time for many people is the embracing of that reality, or the accepting that love isn't really there. Because now, going back to that example of, we're married, we don't always have those butterflies. The reality is that a lot of married people, they ain't got the butterflies because they was never really in love. They was infatuated. They had an unhealthy attachment. They had other things that brought them together. And so now they got to try to force themselves to express love. But even in those moments when they're quote unquote giving their partner love, you ain't giving them love. You're just giving him obligation. You're just doing what you don't want to hear her nag today. You just don't want to be the bad guy. You see, the driving force behind that person's action isn't actually love.
No, I get that.
You know what I'm saying? Their intent isn't about pouring into you. Their intent is to shut you up. Their intent is to manipulate you into giving them what they wanted. Their intent has nothing to do about your well-being. It's about serving them. You see what I'm saying? But on the surface, it looks like love, because we've attached certain actions to, oh, well, that person must love them. No, like, for example, there could be a man right now who's with a woman doing all this sweet stuff, right?
Right.
And someone will look at that and say, oh my gosh, he loves her so much. No, he don't. He's trying to trap her ass because he knows that in the end, he's trying to get what he wants. He don't give a damn about how she feels. He don't care about her well-being. He cares about manipulating her. Now, this isn't to say every dude showing love is manipulating. It's just to say love cannot be evaluated on the surface because it starts from the spirit. And it's intent. The surface is just action. You know what I'm saying? You never know what's driving that action. Why? And I'll swing it back to you, which is why people got to get in touch with their spirit. Because again, you know how they say real recognize real. Well, I always say fake fall for fake. We don't know who we are, so we get fooled by people who are manipulating us.
Right.
Loving ourselves, so we get fooled by people who don't truly love us.
That's true.
When we fortify that within ourselves, we'll see that much more clearer, and our spirit will pick up on what's not right and what's off in this situation. But so many people are detached from their spirit, they can't see real love for what it is. And instead label all kinds of things the wrong, they put love on the wrong things, essentially.